Hello there, Seraph 17 once again. This is my Jetstream Sam DLC, Master of Wind walkthrough. We're taking on some of these pond-dwelling dudes, who I can't remember or pronounce the name of because it's all crazy and Russian-fied. But the strategy is simple. Get some space from them, they will rush you, time your parry, and then execute them like I just did. The timing on it's not that tough because it's quite lenient considering it's a really bullshit enemy. He is backed up by a little guy though, as you can see, and here he comes. One thing I noticed on this fight myself when I was playing it is if I killed the first one and the second one was close to it, when the second one charged, the explosion and the dust and all the particles were still around from the first guy, and he could sometimes hit me because I couldn't see what was happening. And if you have any issue with that, I would just keep on trying. It's all luck sometimes. This game is very strange about things like that, and it's just the luck of the draw, and I'm gonna mention this frequently throughout some of the encounters, and I'm gonna do it to try and give people some hope if they're having a shit time, because everybody's gonna have occasionally a problem with certain areas, and it's all down to the AI doing something different. You know, sometimes the game just screws you. I've mentioned it numerous times, and I will continue to do so. But I'd just like to take a moment to thank everybody who's been subscribing, and to thank everybody who's been donating, because I've been getting a lot of donations. I don't have the name list or anything up there, but the people who sent them in, they know who they are, and they know how much that they're cherished and they're valued on this channel. None of them have sent any requests as such yet, so nothing on that front. But it's all good, because they're essentially, you know, they're practically part of the board of directors, because they've put their excuse me, their well-earned money towards something that they believe in, which is always, you know, it's uplifting, because it's nice to see that affirmation. This fight here, by the way, this gecko is a douche. He will not, for whatever reason, run at you, so you can't do the standard, you know, kite the gecko till he runs at you and then kill him with a full blade bar. He wouldn't do that for me at all. So my strategy there was to parry the little guy and kill the gecko with the retort. So it can take a little bit to line it up. That was not one take, I don't think. And if you saw my live stream when I first got there, that gecko destroyed me. I was getting really mad at him too. Just unnecessary, completely unnecessary. But this next encounter is optional. I'm going to be getting it because there's some life or some fuel cell down here in this box. So you want to pick it up just so that you can have as much of an advantage as possible. It saves just then, but that's not a checkpoint. The checkpoint's from before you came in this room, which is really strange. But this is a slider with some shield guys, so try and get the Zandatsu on the slider if you can. A couple of shield guys, parry to get rid of the shield, then cut them both equally, without mercy, because they're not going to show it to you. And there you go, there's your rank fight. There's a couple more battle points if you need them to buy something. I think the only thing I need to buy now is the longsword, and I haven't unlocked it because I need to get the best times on all the VR missions, and I personally hate the VR missions. I don't think they're very fun. You know, you've essentially taken some of the more challenging parts of the game and you've removed checkpoints. Thanks a lot, Platinum. That's exactly what I wanted. But this next fight here is my least favourite fight of the DLC. It is bullshit. Fluent bullshit. It is it's two of the aggressive sword guys, the armoured sword guys, who are a nightmare on their own, and it's a bunch of the little handy wankers, which I completely hate. They're cheap, they shouldn't exist in the game, they do for fan service, and they just turn out to be assholes, because they grab you, and they can kill you. They're very dangerous. But the strategy for these guys is parry one to kill the second, and then just kill the second however you want to do it. If it was just you and him, this would be simple. I tried a few strategies standing on top of the crates, and they did work, but they took too long, and the result was always the same. I would always get hit. But I think the developers realised that this fight was bullshit because it's not ranked. So if you're trying to do an S-rank run, you don't even have to perform well on this because it's not mandatory to your results. And I think that's very kind of them, because that would be so difficult for no real reason other than it's just a shit placement of enemies. But up here I use the rocket guy to get my parry to kill the raptor. I'm going to drop down in a moment and probably do the YB critical to Zandatsu. There we go, there's the YB. if you get lucky too, if the other raptors stood near him when you do the kick, you can kick both of them. So when you come out of this, you can immediately do the YB to the second raptor. Doesn't always work that way, but you can get quite fortunate. And, oh, missed with the parry, that's a shame. But this enemy, they overwhelm you, especially when there's two of them. Like, the amount of times that they'll just cockfight you, and there's nothing you can do. It's just an absolute, slaughter fest for no real reason other than this DLC does this amazing thing where it puts you with big enemies, plenty of enemies, in the smallest possible locations they could have thought of, and it doesn't make any sense. Add that with the very temperamental and frustrating camera, it can culminate in some rage-inducing moments. And if anybody is interested in seeing my responses to the camera and the autocorrect that it does, and some of the fights in some of the tiny locations, I did a full live stream of all the way up to the final boss of the DLC on my first playthrough, completely blind on Revengeance mode. That is over on my Twitch channel. If you look on my main page in the description, it'll give you the link to my Twitch channel. And yeah, enjoy, because I fucking didn't. I was getting so mad, it was hilarious. But this is coming up to the end of the video. This is me just doing a little bit of mild platforming, looking for secrets, trying to get as much blade mode and as much life as I can before the bosses. Not that it really matters, because I no damage all the bosses, because that was my goal on this video guide. And it's just easier, it's safer. So thanks for watching, and you take care now.